For more great content, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. When you hear the word esports today, your mind probably goes to the usual suspects: League of Legends, Valorant, maybe even Overwatch. But before any of these games even existed, there was one name that defined esports in the West, a game that elevated competitive gaming from a niche pastime to a national spectacle. That game is Halo.
This one is scatter shot from Ninja. Warriors, can they do it? APG picks up the kill on Ninja. 590, legit does it!
Halo defined two entire generations of console gaming and stood at the forefront of esports before the industry as we know it today really existed. Yet, as quickly as it rose to prominence, Halo esports disappeared.
I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? Like, surely there's going to be another Halo event. We're like, holy shit, like we're still relevant. Then after that event, we was just dead.
I would go as far as to say like the decline of Halo.
But after almost a decade in hibernation, Halo esports is back in a big way. Following the launch of Halo Infinite, the Halo Championship Series celebrated its triumphant return with a massive tournament, with an equally massive prize pool.
Renegade just has free reign to take any angle he wants, but he needs to hit the shot. He hits the shot!
But here comes Trippy though. He's going to drop down bomb middle. There's a lovely kill from him. It's a nice double. He's looking to make it 3!
But how did a game that was consigned to the annals of esports history make its way back to main stage prominence? This is the rise again of Halo esports. When the first iteration of Halo, Halo Combat Evolved, was released in November of 2001, the precursors to modern esports as we know them were already going strong. Counter-Strike 1.6, StarCraft Brood War, and arcade staples like Street Fighter II had broken ground in the competitive space. But Halo was the first to pave its way into the American mainstream. Fans loved the gunplay, the lightning-fast pace, and the level design, but the hardware running the game was just as important.
This is the Xbox, and so for the first time, let me now unveil Xbox.
The original Xbox made it simple to land with your friends. Despite the fact that the box weighed like 500 pounds and a CRT TV also weighed a fair amount of pounds as well, it was still like the simplest way to get together with your homies and have a night of gaming. So then people just decided, well, let's go ahead and turn this into something a little bit more. Let's put money on the line. Let's, actually do competitions around this.
While the first Halo game was a groundbreaking success, the competitive scene for the franchise didn't really take off until 2004. This is when Halo 2 was released, along with the rise of online gaming thanks to Xbox Live.
I will soon experience complete oneness with an interconnected global community of game warriors. I can feel the energy flowing through the high-speed Ethernet cables.
Dude, who are you talking to? Are we gonna play or what?
During this time, Major League Gaming, also known as MLG, became the leading organizer for top-tier tournaments. In 2006, it began broadcasting on national television with the Boost Mobile MLG Pro circuit, pushing Halo esports squarely into the mainstream. This mix of grassroots accessibility and recognized sponsorship created a booming competitive ecosystem.
Everybody's up on their feet, straight ripping, up on their feet. If you're at home, I'm sure you're up on your feet. You probably done spilled your Kool-Aid all over your keyboard. You can't believe what's going on right now.
The fall. MLG and Halo esports ran strong for years, but things changed in 2010 with the release of Halo Reach. Thanks to a deal struck years prior, Halo's developer Bungie was on its way out from under Microsoft's umbrella. But as part of the agreement, the studio was expected to produce 2 more games before their departure. Reach was Bungie's final Halo game, and they took it as an opportunity to shake things up before departing. To many fans, the new armor abilities and weapon bloom had fundamentally changed the way Halo was played. And with competitive balance as delicate as it is, these changes did not go over well.
It really was apparent that the golden age, quote unquote, of Bungie making Halo was coming to an end, and then all these things were being incorporated into the game to try and modernize Halo in an attempt to appeal to an audience of people that were just never going to play Halo to begin with, and that was the Call of Duty crowd. So all of that kind of just led to this, I would go as far as to say like the decline of Halo.
In 2012, hope for the scene reappeared with the release of Halo 4, the first title developed by Microsoft's new internal studio, 343 Industries.
The line between fiction, competitive multiplayer, and campaign is erased aboard Infinity. Your every action affects the story, the ship, and the very fate of the galaxy.
Halo 4 initially faced harsh criticism for its terrible map selection, lack of ranked play, and continued use of the armor ability system. But the hype for a new season of Halo competition was on full display at the game's first event, the MLG Fall Championship in Dallas, Texas.
Even going into the Halo 4 exhibition, the next, that following year, that was a big event. And I don't think MLG planned on that because there weren't enough chairs. There weren't enough chairs for spectators. We had our own corner, literally our own corner in the venue while the rest was other tournaments going on.
Dallas looked to be the start of a grand new chapter for Halo. But in reality, it was, well, a flash in the pan.
And I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? Surely there's going to be another Halo event. And from the competitor standpoint of attendance, we're like, holy shit, we're still relevant. And then after that event, we was just dead. It was just we didn't know it at the time, but it was just grassroots mode at that point. Whoever was gonna throw a tournament that wasn't MLG, good luck at that point. And that was just kind of my experience. It's just it just thunderous applaud, and then we're just dead at that point. It was kind of crazy.
In 2014, 343 released the Halo Master Chief Collection, a remaster of previous games in the franchise, and Halo 2 Anniversary was touted as the next big competitive Halo title.
We're going in.
Directly after this release, 343 Industries created the Halo Championship Series, the first developer-run esports league for Halo. This was the moment many competitive players had been waiting for since Reach, a chance to return to what made Halo great, and a stage upon which to compete. And surely, this was all a recipe for success. What could possibly go wrong?
Master Chief Collection comes out, and you couldn't even play a game. You were getting bugs left, right, and center. And then to make it also worse was that Halo 2 Anniversary, which was actually a really solid game. Unfortunately, it just lacked so many maps, core maps to Halo 2's history. And that really could have been their game. That could have been their version of Halo Online, but they just decided to just go in a different direction and focus on Halo 5 more so, which and to make it also even worse is that there was no spectator mode still.
For the third time in a row, Halo failed to deliver on launch, killing any enthusiasm the franchise had generated. So when Halo 5 was released in 2015, the audience just wasn't there in the same way.
The numbers just don't lie. People were just not resonating with the game because it didn't feel like Halo. It felt like a completely different game that had some Halo mechanics in there. And then B, the core things that you need for your esports to succeed were not present in Halo 5, like spectator mode stuff. It took a while for spectator mode to come out. And when it did come out, it wasn't particularly great. So like hosting online tournaments for it wasn't like that awesome, because it's not fun to watch someone's crosshair be on a completely different side of the screen as if they're shooting at another person. It just wasn't very appealing to watch.
With Halo heavily trending downward, and after several failed attempts to improve the formula, 343 got to work on its most ambitious game to date, Halo Infinite. The rise again. After years of continued disappointment, 343 was determined to do everything right with Halo Infinite. Gone were the armor abilities, and returned to the game was the Halo holy trinity of guns, grenades, and melee. And despite some ribbing about graphical jank, anticipation for the game was high, especially after its delay due to COVID-19. But then 343 surprised everyone. In November of 2021, the company stealth launched Infinite's multiplayer, and it was entirely free to play.
On behalf of the entire Halo team, it's my honor and privilege to announce that your Spartan journey begins today. Right now, you can download and start playing Season 1 of Halo Infinite's free-to-play multiplayer beta on Xbox One, Series S, X, and PC. This is the kickoff of our season, and you'll have access to all the maps, core modes, academy features, and the full battle pass to unlock. And your progression will carry over when we officially release the game on December 8th.
This surprise launch brought in a massive player base, with the Steam edition alone numbering in the hundreds of thousands. And when it came to gameplay, this was everything the competitive scene had been waiting for.
And this one, you know, when you finally had gotten your hands on this game, you could kind of tell, like, wow, like they really thought really hard and, you know, balancing the game day one, which is like super hard when you talk about the other games, because all of the other Halos, they needed some sort of like update in order for it to play, I guess, balanced, if you will. And you know, when you talk about Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo, you know, all the other Halos, it's just like they just needed major overhauls day one in that regard for balancing. In this game, it's just like, wow, like everything makes sense.
Along with these dramatic changes to gameplay, 343 redoubled its efforts in the construction of the HCS, announcing the tournament structure, partnerships, and a jaw-dropping $3 million prize pool for the season.
You know, the roadmap, obviously that's something that we've been missing for a while, and it's just good to be able to have that kind of vision. Vision is very important in esports in general, and having that vision for like at least a 12-month period is super valuable in so many ways that anyone can kind of plan around it. It doesn't matter if you're a competitor, coach, you know, organization owner, you know, whoever, a fan of the sports. Like, it gives you that ability to like, okay, this is going to happen here, that's going to happen then. I can plan around that kind of stuff, and that's very valuable.
In the following month, the Hcs Kickoff Major Rally jump-started this new era of Halo. It was the first Halo LAN in almost 2 years, and the first in almost a decade to offer hundreds of thousands in prize money. The excitement and the stakes had never been higher.
Halo is finally back, and I'm so excited that we're here live on LAN in the beautiful city of Raleigh. It's been a long couple of years, folks, and we are heavily overdue for a sick and safe in-person show. And whether you're here with us in Raleigh live, or if you're joining us from all across the globe watching on Twitch or YouTube, we welcome you in with open arms.
Well over 200 teams entered the open bracket, and despite lingering concerns about the pandemic, the venue completely sold out, breaking Halo viewership records on its first day. With well over 100,000 concurrent online viewers, it was the most watched Halo event of all time.
Gosh, it's our first live event on the roadmap. We are here with a live crowd, live audience, live players. We have a main stage set behind us. How excited are you?
You know, I rehearsed this answer probably 3 or 4 times, and I'm never going to do it justice. The energy in the room, it's ecstatic. It's the next level. It's something we've been waiting on for over 2 years, and as a Halo community, I can't wait to celebrate all weekend long with this tournament, with the best players in the world from all around the world. I mean, Lottie, it doesn't get better than this.
But then, as day 3 crested and the tournament moved into the top 8, the viewership shattered records yet again. In front of an online audience of 250,000 people, and in a dominant 4-1 match against eUnited, Cloud9 won HCS Raleigh, staking their claim to the new and improved Halo scene.
C9 have been phenomenal so far in this grand final, but they can't find that last kill. Until now! Stella picks up the final kill. Cloud9 will be your champions here in Raleigh. And the first ever Halo Infinite live event winners.
But this fight is far from finished. Thanks to the open bracket HCS structure, new talent can come gunning for the top at any time. And with the stakes as high as they are now, they will most certainly come.
But this event was just unprecedented. Like, was 272 teams in a live environment. I don't think we've had that since the MLG heydays. I'm pretty sure the last event that had that many teams sign up was Dallas, which was that H4 event, which I think is actually like pretty apropos. People just wanted to compete. They wanted to have an opening to compete, and they wanted to play in a game that was fun. And if Call of Duty's not going to provide that, if Gears of War is not going to provide that, even if Valorant's not going to provide that, then people want to find, you know, those openings wherever they may be. They just so happen to find it with Halo.